What happens when a scammer takes something from a scammer that I've got my eye on? What's the next new news from Brooke? And what happened that day at the park? To answer this and many more questions, allow me to take us back to the beginning. Hello and welcome to Lawd Lukan. If you like it, then please do consider putting a ring up on it as we grab an update from the Lalus. On today's show, Alexis beeps a horn. Brooke reveals some more news. I found someone who's stolen some ideas, and that's not the only thing that's not hers to have. And Julius doesn't care.
Huh? Oh, it was live? Oh, I thought you got off.
All this and more right here on the Lawd Lukan channel. Good evening, enchanté, and yokoso to you. Big loves to those who've subscribed, you beautiful people, and a you bear King Melon to the lords and ladies of the Lukan Manor. So, mon petit pois, I've got a thruple of trouble for you today, and we start our little voyage of misery in Cincinnati. I found there was a video of Alexis and Julius that I haven't reviewed yet, and thought, well, what the hell, let's just do one more, shall we? So, settle yourself in with your favourite chair, gather up your favourite dog or wine or whatever it is that keeps you warm in the evening as we head ourselves over to Ohio. Now, I do like to do a quick check to make sure we've got all the ingredients of a Juju and Lex video before we get started. So, cringy finger sign intro.
Peace signs.
Check. Juliana in a buggy or a baby seat for 99% of the time. Check. Zero conversation, because they've got nothing in common. Check. Zero conversation, while Alex admires herself most of the time.
We look good.
Check. And the world's dullest video that I tried to make somehow more interesting.
All right, y'all. We out here on an evening family walk.
Check-a-rama. Good stuff. I think we're good to go. So today we're going for a stroll around the pond or whatever that is to make out that we have a picture-perfect, Insta-friendly family. And Alexis wants Julia to get her body in.
Okay, then. Okay, postpartum body. 2 months postpartum.
But then Julius gets a bit bored and just sort of films himself instead. Ha! Good job. It must be a tough job housing two massive egos in one apartment. I've got to say though, Alex is conscious of her postpartum body, but it's not all that different from before. His before, his after. And what about Julian? Well, his before and his after. Nope, can't tell the difference myself. But they're running out of ideas for terrible videos. They ask for a little help from the viewers.
Drop activities in the comments that y'all want to see us do. Challenge us. Give us something to do. Like go
fuck yourselves, alligator wrangling, split up. Oh, yeah, they already did that 3 times. But I'm quite curious. Did anyone give them any suggestions? Well, this person said, I want to see y'all do pranks, do mukbangs. Okay, good, yes. Nighttime routines. I want to see y'all go fishing for sure. I went with my dad when I was younger, lol. Mukbangs? What? They eat in every video. And who wants to listen to that going on? That going on? I really don't think I can handle more of that. In fact, this is the first one that hasn't had their visual mouth sloppery and greasy lens scene in it. But the last comment has it right. I know the OG comment intentions are good, but y'all, please don't start doing prank vids. Good job. What was this? I love the authentic vibe you'll have going on. Have you watched this? Did you actually see anything before you wrote that? Yeah. Anyway, then this comment says, OMG, I'm in love. She looks just like her father. Oh, well, does he have a beard too? Then this weirdo says, y'all could do body paint each other a little. Keep it decent though. Really? Reach out to these companies for marketing. Lexi has a great voice. Yeah, nobody wants to see that. And painting him like we're painting a totem pole. But judging by the fact it's a guy called Andrew, let's just assume he wants to see Alexis's boobies. Then we get, I think he should put you in one of his music videos. Music? Yeah, that's generous. And then he says, I doubt it, I just think they'll be hating. I see Lizzo and other BBWs do great in videos. Did he just compare her to Lizzo? Really? Yeah, cheers then. There's that confidence out the window then. If Derek was a rapper and put Monique in the video, then yeah, okay. Anyway, Alexis moans about Julian's moaning.
Yeah, he already complaining. He just already complaining. Like, what are you talking about?
Aaron would be like,
It's so petty, isn't it? She said her sunglasses weren't very sunglassy, so he gets all huffy and tells her she's wrong. No wonder he left without saying a word to her. Aside from the fact he's generally got nothing to say at the best of times, I think it just would have been the most petty argument ever. Like, turned off his PlayStation while he was playing 2K or something. But then, it's zoology time.
We might see a snake out here.
Let's have a guess at what Lukan's gonna say. Will it be, there he is, or will it be, yeah, of course it is, you know me too well by now. No one thought to put that in the comments, did they? It's all body painting and eating. We missed our opportunity a bit there though, didn't we? I would have loved to see his dumbass try to catch a venomous reptile, but I don't think she's coming back next season. So then Alexis bangs on for a while about how she needs to do more cardio. And then that pesky child goes and makes a noise.
Because really, that cardio is what's slowing me down.
Oh, I mean, can you believe it? Interrupting Mummy's boring monologue about blah blah, I don't know, who cares? What a liberty. Well, rather than stopping what she's doing, Mother of the Year decides she'd make her slightly less interested boyfriend take a look for her.
What's she doing, babe? Babe, what's she doing?
Joking, probably. Maybe if you stop concentrating on your dying social media posts, you'd know that. These nurses are fantastic with kids though, aren't they? Though just look at the recent examples of nursing behaviour. One is feeding a baby dried up old mouldy milk and leaving him in the car for way too long, and the other one's getting pissed at work and getting arrested on the way home. Yeah, good job. Then there's a bit more gibberish.
And look at it, live. A cut. Live.
Okay, yes. He's about 10 metres ahead, isn't he? It's like he doesn't even want to be seen with her or something. Even when we didn't know they split up, we could see that the relationship had no substance though, didn't we? It's like when I made a video about them breaking up and you guys were like, yeah, tell me something I didn't predict 6 months ago.
We like the same person.
No, you're really not. She's good at sports, he's shit at sports. She likes pretending they're in a couple, he likes talking to other women. But there are some similarities. They're both obsessed with their appearance, neither of them can be bothered to parent the child properly, and she loves Julian, and so does he.
Look at that view.
Yeah, lovely. Just a few bodies in there. The only thing missing is a few shopping carts and a burnt-out moped.
I was say, any turtles, anything down there? This man loves turtles, y'all.
Yeah, Leonardo is his favourite, but, Michelangelo gets the nunchucks, so, sometimes he wears the orange mask thing. But then Alexis commits the ultimate sin, while Julian is down by the water.
Oh, snap.
yeah, you gonna put my live there?
Huh? Oh, it was live? Oh, I thought you got off. Now I feel bad.
Oh no, I mean, how could you do that, putting his live down? I mean, terrible. And look how he just walks away again. Much more interested in his live, flexing his Shein sunglasses to the mentally challenged females who find his live worth watching. But what about Juliana? Maybe she'd like to pop out and see the cool scenery too.
Look at my baby, y'all. Baby girl. Big chillin'.
That baby looks like she's in a coma, doesn't she? I'd say she was pretty unresponsive myself. A slight flicker when she heard Mummy's voice, but otherwise an unblinking stare at the edge of her stroller. Are they not sort of concerned about that behaviour? I'm sure as a super great nurse, she knows all about absence seizures, where a small child blanks out for 3 to 15 seconds, accompanied by slight jerks and no awareness of the surroundings. But when you have 2 or 3 of these symptoms at the same time, like we did there, I would probably see a doctor and have them confirm that I was worrying too much myself. But hey, I'm not a nurse, am I? Look at that bottle too, propped up with a muzzy so they don't have to hold it. Yeah, who cares about bonding, huh? Maybe she likes that massive congealed gunk at the bottom. Again, good job. But who's got time for all that? She needs to get back to boring him with her stories about cornholing so he can mostly ignore her. If he'd have done more cornholing, they wouldn't have the baby to worry about.
I'm gonna try to find us one for the weekend of the 4th so we could be out there betting each other.
And then the next part really tells you quite a lot about Julius's character. It begins with him and Alexis taking up half the path, and then a cyclist needs to come past. So that cyclist didn't have much choice where to go. He could have gone to the right of Julian, but that would mean he'd be close to a woman with a stroller. So instead he went left through the small gap and close to Julian. So Julian, who thinks he's all man because he's got a live and a woman to show off in front to, gets a bit lippy.
I can hear that dude.
Yeah, but when the guy's like well out of earshot, I would have loved him to have heard whatever his mouthy tart was saying and swung that bike around and parked it in Parker's posterior. That guy was like 3 times the size of Noodle Boy. And if he ended up shoving that gimbal in Julian's cornhole, I would have thought it would be deserved. And then there's this.
Look at my necklaces. They all twisted.
Ooh, I wonder if she's wearing it still. Well, here's a ridiculous Timo haul video. And it's just an A now. I would have said she should have an L instead, but then realised she's already taken one of those.
I learned recently to love turtles. So.
Me too, like, 2 minutes ago when he told us the first time.
Y'all like my hat? I'm in my mom era.
I'm surprised you don't have coordinated ones, you know. She could have mum and he could have bum. Being a mum isn't sort of an era, though, is it? You sort of do that for the rest of your life. Sure, the child requires less and less of you as it gets older, but you never stop really being a mum or a dad. But, she sees it as a phase.
Y'all like my hat? Because I'm in my mommy era.
Yeah, I got that a minute ago. Yeah, thanks. Hey, Alexis, why don't you tell us something that's not about the lake being a vibe, or that your grown-up man-child likes turtles again, or that you're in a mum era? Good job. But then, Alexis breaks out a sentence that I'm sure we all love to hear. And no, it's not that Julius has been mauled by a ninja turtle. Unfortunately, it's...
Y'all want to hear something funny?
Here we go. Are you ready for this? Have you got your steady pants on? Right, hold on, let me sit down. Here we go. This better be good. I've got to build it up for you now. All right, okay, I'm ready. And...
We're literally walking through the area where we filmed one of our scenes in Life After Lockup.
No, don't get it. Well, the punchline could do with a bit of work, and it was slightly disappointing at the beginning. And the least said about the middle, the better. But, yeah, hilarious. Yeah.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, but then the best bit of the video happens. Now, this isn't me building you up to show you Julius picking his nose or falling in the water, which would have actually been the best bit. It's an actual good bit, and I challenge your heart not to melt when it happens. Bless her little cotton socks. That was the cutest little laugh. Probably the happiest moment of her day right there. That breathed warmth into my entire soul when I heard it. So, shall we have it again, just for fun? Oh, I love her. I'm sorry you didn't win the parent lottery, Sweet Pea. But maybe now Daddy's gone, it might make your mummy spend more quality time with you. It's gonna be okay. You just listen to your grandparents.
Back to the story time, though.
Oh, I don't want more bloody story time. I was fine watching Little Miss Cuteness melting my heart. I wouldn't let my daughter hear me say that, though. She gets very jealous. Anyway, story time is all about breastfeeding and the fact that she'd given it up, but now wants to try again. And I totally learned something new here. I never knew you could get lactation cookies. What if Genius Boy over there starts eating them? Would he start lactating too? Hear a little baby crying somewhere and be like, oh shit, what is that? How the, what?
So wish me luck. Maybe I'll vlog that.
No, really, we don't need to see that. Thank you. I think Andrew in the comment section might want to see it. But us normal people, we'd be quite happy living our lives without seeing you flop out a titty.
For the mommies that are, on their breastfeeding journeys. Because don't give up, y'all.
Like what you did?
It's a job, but it's worth it.
But not to you, sort of clearly, because you gave it up and your milk dried up. She's such a hypocrite, isn't she? Don't you all give up, it's a job, it's like work and stuff. Be amazing, like, someone else. So, back to more shots of her boobies, then some more shots of her boobies, followed by some more shots of her boobies. I'm really not interested in her boobies, just for the record. There's nothing that makes me remotely want to see her princess pillows.
It was a little muddy, y'all. I was about to fall. Y'all probably would have loved that content of me falling.
Yup, but then there's a waterfall somewhere. I think it fell off. And even Peppy Alex can't try and make it sound more interesting.
That's...
Yeah, it's great, yeah, but if you zoom in and you squint really hard, there's like this little bit of water falling, I guess. Not much of a waterfall, though, more of a sort of water stumble, really. And that was about it from there. That was their little hike around Who Cares Park. Good job. Our next stop today is a super quick one with our Brookie Poo. Now, we all know she's with child, but yesterday she posted this. I'm getting married next year. So, what do we think, beautiful people? Do we think she's serious? Also, do we think she'll make it to next year to have the wedding? Is it going to be a third time lucky for her? And will her kids have yet another daddy come and go, both metaphorically and physically? Well, let me know in the comments, and while you're messing about down there, don't forget to click the like and do some subscribing and hyping and all that sort of business. It really does help me, and I appreciate you very, very much. Anyway, given the last 3 men in her life who got to shoot up the club and then go home with somebody else, it doesn't look that great. Now, I do wish her the best, mostly because I'd like the kids to get the best the world can give, but if her pace of pant removal and getting pregnant is an indication of what the future holds, I'd say it better be good, or he'll be picking up those lovely white teeth off his doorstep, and she'll be touting for business in the prison pen pal pages again. So, let's do our last story, shall we? You know, mon petit bois, they say that imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. But what if the imitator is just as much of the scammer as the imitatee? Well, our last item today is another one. And I'm not going to repeat myself with all the stuff I said about her dodgy business in the last video. And you can check that out in the boxy thing in the corner. Incidentally, it's a video that someone tried to take down, so, you know, good job. But I found something that actually offended me on Zer's half. I know, right? Isn't it weird when you can feel slightly protective over a person you know has done some less good things with their non-profit? But you end up thinking, but she's our scammer, damn it, and how dare someone come along and just take things that's hers willy-nilly? It's like when Julian decided to call himself Juju. I was like, oi, that's our Juju's name. And we're not going to stand idly by and let that happen without calling out and taking the piss. Allow me to explain. So, I was having a little look at Zer's more recent posts of her and her angel wings. The not at all narcissistic one where she's claiming to be a fallen angel. First the bleeding, sudden shock, a gasp of air that stole the sky. The halo slipped, the plumes were lost, and I fell with a tear in my eye. See, it's like a poem and everything. But the wind now sings a softer song, a whisper of a new domain, and here my eyes sweetly closed, I welcome the earth and glorious fall from grace. So it doesn't so much rhyme at the end, but you know, that first part wasn't too bad, was it? Now, those are pretty cool angel wings, I've got to give her that. Nothing says classy and angelic like a satin-covered air mattress or whatever that is in the background, coupled with the 6 or 7 petals that they managed to get together. And a random disco ball. Yeah, that's good. And the least said about that rug, the better. But she does have a few things right in this shot, though. The shot she's calling a concept shoot. Yeah, all right then. Yeah. If the concept is that your missus has delusions of grandeur and your man is cucking for and in fact, one of the comments says, I would ask someone to change the background to match the vibe. Then says, no, it matches the vibe. It's a concept photo shoot. Gosh, she's just so disagreeable, isn't she? So the vibe is basically a load of low-budget random stuff and Gary Glitter's left testicle. Okay, sure. Also, let's have a quick critique so you can learn a little something of how to do this shot properly. Well, a good photograph leads your eye around an image. For example, if you want to lead the viewer's eye, you do a pointing action. If you want to stop the eye, you make a fist. It's how we work as humans. So, pointing at the chest, yes, good job. But the arms and legs leaving the frame, don't do that. It leads the eye out of the picture. She claims that this image, which is all about angels falling from heaven, has nothing at all to do with heaven and religion. And when she gets called on it, she argues that angels in heaven have nothing to do with religion whatsoever. So, you aren't Christian anymore? Which is a little bit of a retarded question, let's face it. What are you talking about? What does this have to do with religion? Well, heaven, it's kind of a premise, isn't it? Is it me? And then she says, it's a poem, lol, that's it. Don't think too deep into it, says the woman who posted poetry trying to be deep. And then she says, and I asked a clarifying question, then said not to think about it too deeply. So your point? Which makes it pretty obvious he's been deleting other people's comments. She tries to be all deep and amazing with a mix of poetry and Lonely Pans material, but with her usual strategy, denies what's blatantly going on and tells you you're wrong for thinking the way you thought based on her actions. Ha! Good job. Like when Troy found out she'd been cheating on him, and she told him it wasn't cheating, it was just a mistake, and wasn't any of anybody's business anyway. Just like here. And especially you, Karen, you and your coochie spray can stay out of it, thank you very much. And it's totally none of anybody's business, apparently, apart from making a public post about it. And particularly when you're pointing out her hypocrisy. Anyway, then I just flicked through her story thing and saw her heel stuff from 237 weeks ago, which would make it somewhere around February 2002. Ooh, it's about a company called Heel. I hadn't looked that up before, But what I found was this lady called Dr. Montsheng Letsoalo, or Dr. Mo as she likes to call herself. These things are startlingly similar. The name Heal, helping everyone accept love, is the same. The line art style of design is also startlingly similar. But our doctor here is from South Africa, but she did hers slightly later in September 2022. But she's a doctor, right? A doctor wouldn't just copy the whole design and essence of what somebody like is doing, would they? The whole healing emotional wounds, the whole fostering a sense of self-love, acceptance and emotional resilience, that sort of thing. Well, let's go and have a look at her book, shall we? Well, did you ever see that Family Guy episode where Brian wrote a book and left 200 pages blank so the person could fill it in themselves? Well, that's what Dr. Mo did. In fact, here's my favourite page of the book. Yeah, good job. The good doctor wouldn't have just thrown together a bunch of nonsense for vulnerable people to pay $30 a pop to be promised themselves self-help and get a bunch of repetitive bullshit, would she? And she totally remembered to spell check this, didn't she? I mean, this totally makes sense to me. But I think we need to get a better understanding of who Dr. Mo is. This is her LinkedIn profile. Awarded young scientist, best faculty, public health researcher, trauma and neuroscience, global health equity, international speaker, curriculum developer, and qualitative research specialist. Whoa, that's very specialist, isn't it? She was awarded a Best Faculty Award by Young Scientist. Whoa, that's very scientisty, isn't it? Let's have a look. Well, the short version is this website is known for dodgily aggressive sales, where the person who wants to win an award has to pay from $300 to have their work published, but have nothing accredited, peer-reviewed, or checked. In fact, if you read the reviews, they've got nothing at all to do with science. Mr. Ali said, I received your service on time and it was excellent service. Okay. Mr. Who? Him? Lovely. Said, I received your service on time and it was an excellent service. Well, that's familiar, isn't it? Well, what about Dr. Hope you're doing well. I received your service on time and it was an excellent service. Well, at least they've got consistency. Yeah, right? Well, there's this one. I received my package. What? What package? Well, it turns out that our doctor friend bought her award too. As I said, this site makes you pay to have your paper published, so then you can tell other people that you've been published in something that sounds very sciencey, which adds supposing credibility to your work. I even went and read her entire research paper. Both of them. And if I was being generous, I would say it was total bullshit. All talking in circles, no evidence of research. It's all just theory that never delivers. Well, I then went to check out her PhD. And nope, that doesn't exist. Her Bachelor of Arts from this university, an online university with no accredited courses and a bad reputation. Well, they don't even do BAs. The Dr. Reverend, as she sometimes appears, even sells online negotiation mastery courses for $800 of your finest dollars, claiming to have years of experience in that field. All absolute rubbish. How dare some know-nothing fake doctor come in here stealing our fake non-profit owning ladies' stuff and then go about ripping off people with their fake credentials. She talks all about neurology and uses some fairly complicated psychological terminology, but then when you actually hear what she's got to say...
I also put the assignment there. Where's the assignment? Really? I can't find my assignment. There is an assignment that students have to go through.
Nothing, yeah, absolutely nothing but an unorganised faker. Well, not on my watch, damn it. Taking some dollars under the pretense of a non-profit and giving a portion of that to a company that sells dodgy software to unsuspecting charities while adding a stealth 10% to it all is one thing. But stealing our scammer shit, rebranding it slightly, then charging hundreds of dollars to listen to her talk rubbish, masquerading as a doctor when she could do some real damage to people suffering from deep trauma, just isn't on. So, I went to her most recent post, looking for volunteers from actual neuroscientific backgrounds to work for her for free. Yes, indeed, which doesn't happen in real life. Actual doctors from real universities have access to those, and it's a massive red flag that she's posted this. So I thought I'd just fire a shot across her bow just to start with, so to speak, and see what she says. So, I said, Hi, Dr. Letsoalo. I'm interested in your research on residence retention theory, which actually, if you read it, is a load of crap. Could you share where you completed your PhD and what your dissertation was focused on? Now, a real PhD would happily bore you to death with all these details. You get a free sense of elevated status with every one. And at the moment, I know a few people have seen it. So if she ignores and deletes it, then the silence will speak volumes. If she doesn't respond, then that speaks volumes. And if she does respond, we know what the truth is and we'll be able to smell the bullshit. And we'll get into a bit of a debate about it, shall we? Nice and publicly too. Well, it's been there for nearly 24 hours. I know she comes here daily. So let's see what happens, shall we? Ah, damn it. She appears to have blocked me. That's not suspicious at all. What if I search her name? Nope, doesn't exist. Okay then. So through the super duper technical process of, logging out, let's see if we can find her. Okay, so log out, search her name. Here we are, and click. Damn it. Doesn't exist. It's because LinkedIn keeps signing me in. But don't worry, not giving up, fans. I'll sign in with another account and see. So here we are. Delightful. And as I suspected, my comment has been deleted. I know that at least 18 people have seen it before it was deleted, so hopefully I've done a little bit of justice. She has made a small mistake though, as now I can find a photography company called iCaptures Production, and she does actually have some interesting work. I also now have her address too, here in Limpopo. So, do I leave her be, or should I keep going? Well, my mind says yes, but my heart says no. So that, my finest of friends, is up to you. Okay then, so what did we learn today, ladies and gentlemen? Well, we learned that there are such things as lactation cookies, and there is no substitute for a well-founded relationship. We learned that people will keep banging their heads against the same brick wall and expect different outcomes. We learned that scammers will crawl under any rock as long as it's easy to milk vulnerable people. And we also learned that if you have a problem, and if no one else can help, and if you can find me, then maybe you can hire the Lukan team. Thank you so much for joining me on another voyage of weirdery. I'll be back very soon with some more offbeat reviews and news for you to shake your stick at, or whatever delightful handheld object you have at the time. And until then, have yourself a most beautiful day. So if you like what I do, then please do like, subscribe, and check out one of these little beauties. So until we meet again, stay beautiful, love to my three, and you take care of yourself.
Please subscribe now for a play. Thank you.